Hey guys, welcome back to the channel today. Today I want to do another episode on a pit breakdown, and I chose this pit because I went to that pit today. That is pit number 31. And if I would, before you guys get into the video, if you have not liked the videos, like the video. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. We have had a huge increase in subscribers, and they're still coming in, and I appreciate that and appreciate all the views. And the more subscribers we can get, the more we can get out there and start getting this content out there. And I appreciate all the feedback I'm getting on this. I'm getting a lot of great feedback on the breakdowns I'm doing for the strip pits in Southeast Kansas, which I was not expecting to get that big of a return out of that. So that is awesome. I was not expecting that. So, okay, let's get into this. Pit 31, as you can see, will be right here. You'll see that it's just north of Hallowell. Oh, what is it, 2 miles, and then back to the east a half a mile if you were to go off of right out of Hallowell north. And then if you go off of Sportsman's Pit Road, it is, I think it's 2 miles north. Yeah, 2 miles, 2 or 3 miles north, and then it is back east 2.5 miles if I'm correct. Or it might be, 2.5 miles or somewhere around there, 2.5 miles. So let's get into it exactly. So I'll get into what I actually did today because I was just in there today. That's why I'm doing a video over it. It is one of them in the drawings in the Columbus Bass Club, so I want to cover it. The biggest part is half of it stayed, half of it's private. So you can only fish the first cove and then all the way back to the start of the second cove. You cannot go past there. There's some buoys back there. You can't go past those buoys. Okay, so let's get into what is Pit 41. So Pit 41 I fished for many, many years. It's one of my favorites since I was a kid. It is commonly known as Postmaster's Pit. It is a good concrete ramp on it. It's got good parking for any boat size, don't matter the boat size. The water can be clean. It's not real clean and clear, and it can also be stained. It's not real dirty and nasty, but it'll be stained. Like today, it was only about 2.5 foot right in there. It wasn't real clear, and it wasn't real dirty either, just right in between. Just clear to stain, but it don't ever get crystal clear, maybe 4 foot clarity in there. It don't get real clear. So today I was in there, it was 42-degree water temp. The wind was blowing about 20 mile an hour, which really helped the bite. I didn't get out there. I think I got in the water at 11:15, right in there around that time. And today is January 7th of 2023. And you'll see the red to the south, right up here on this here. You'll see the red to the south, or on the bottom there. I caught 2, and one of them was over 3 pounds, just over 3 pounds. And the other one was about 14 inches right there. And I could have stayed there. There was a lot of them right there. And why they was right there was because that south wind, or the north wind, was blowing in on that. And that right there created a funnel, is what that created for the shad that was pushing them up there. And those fish were up there feeding. And that's real shallow right there where that kind of pinches together. It's about 2 foot deep is what I've seen in my fish finder right in there. 2 to 3 foot deep right now with the water low. The water comes up, it'll be about 5 to 6 foot right there. But they were sitting right there feeding on those shad. Just on that windy side of that is where those bass were sitting. And I caught 2 of them back-to-back cast. And then I also seen them once I came across. I couldn't see them because I was on the back side with my live scope. So I couldn't see over the actual hump there, the flat right there. Because the way it shines at sonar, you can't see over the top of it, behind what's behind it. So I caught 2 of them right there. And then I kept going because I wanted to go see the pit, because I hadn't been in the pit in a long time, and kind of see where else they were at and see where they were staging at, and kind of figure out more so I could explain more to you guys in this video. So right there, I probably could have caught 2 to 3 more, maybe more than that. I didn't stay on them right there. They were very active. The first one actually with a Vision 110, Megabass Vision 110 in Pro Blue color, he actually swallowed it almost. The back hook was in his throat, and the front hook was still in his mouth. He had his whole mouth. He wasn't getting off. I mean, he ate the whole thing. Then the second one that I caught right there, he had it real good. But then the front kind of changed. The wind I don't know exactly what happened. The wind was still blowing. I know the sun kind of went away, and then they stopped biting as well. They weren't eating that color as well. So the red in the middle there, the red that's in the middle, I caught another one there around 16 to 17 inches. I didn't measure it or weigh it. I just threw it back. Well, I didn't really care too much to weigh it. It wasn't no big one. It wasn't over 3 pounds. Anything over 3 pounds is what I put in my records as what I consider a big fish in the pits. And then I missed one right there in that middle section as well. I seen that one on Live Scope, and it looked to be probably about 14-ish inches. And then the red to the north, I caught another one right there, and that one was 14 inches, and I watched it on Live Scope, watched it when eat it. And then the next one I missed in that area, I think I missed 2 of them there in that area, and one of them I missed was a real good filling one. So I don't know how big it was. I know that 17-incher that I caught, that 16 or 17-incher, it felt like a giant because I'd hooked it, and I foul hooked it because it just swiped at it. And I had it actually hooked on the eye with my outside hook. So it was foul hooked. The thing was fighting. I thought it was a giant 4 or 5 pounder. Hopefully that video got on my GoPro and you guys will see me running around the boat trying to get it in there. I thought it
was. That was right on. I caught that one fully on Live Scope. That's a pretty good feeling one. They're always big feeling to me. Oh man, that's a fighting one there. That's a good one, folks. Get in here. Oh my, he's just fighting like crazy, guys. He does not want to come into the boat. Bigger than what I thought he was. Come on, little buddy. Get in here. He does not want to come into the boat. There we go. You see, nope, this guy foul hooked is why he's fighting so much. There we go. Still a good one though. Still another 17-incher. I just got him hooked on the outside. That's why he's fighting so much. All right.
was a giant. So hopefully that'll be an entertaining video for you guys to watch. I'll get it posted on YouTube as well. If it's, like I said, my GoPro actually got it all on there. I had the GoPro on. I missed the first fish, actually. I didn't get I'll show a picture of it here in the video so you guys can see it, but I didn't get the footage of me catching it. I might have turned it on. I don't remember if I turned it on after I caught it, or I know I didn't have it on when I caught the fish. So unfortunately, I would throw that in here and show you guys, but I got it. But I'll put the picture on there for you guys. Now, in the second picture here, the areas before are all good in the winter, just like you've seen. And then the green, these are areas that are good in the spring. I've never really fished this first cove too much in my life, but I've heard good things about it, and those are good. There's some standing timber in the green furthest to the east. Not standing timber, but there's some stumps right there. And those are good right there in that cove. And then all the way back to your west end where the little pocket right there is, that's good in the spring as well. Now, the blue is good right there, especially if the wind is blowing on it. That's just right from the ramp. They were actually sitting there today. It was either a lot of crappie or bluegill. Not sure on the Live Scope. I couldn't get none of them to bite, and I didn't drop a crappie jig down there. I was just throwing the jerk bait and a little 2-inch big hammer on a Ned rig too, just trying to see they would come up and try and bite it, but I couldn't get them to eat it. So I wasn't sure what exactly that was sitting in there, but there was something schooled up there, and it wasn't shad. It was either bluegill or crappie, so I don't know which one it was. They look to be about like 8 inches long, but there is bass that hold there as well if that wind is blowing on it, especially when the water's up. The water's a little low right now, and it's winter time, so that's not a good place for them. And actually, I wasn't expecting them to be as shallow as they was today in 42-degree water temperature, but they actually was, so that was real surprising. And then the purple, those points right there, always hit those points. Like I said, if you watch any of my videos, points always hold fish. So just always hit them. It don't take long, but normally there is a fish on the points. Now let's get into the third picture here. The red and the green right there is a flat, and that gets a lot of grass on it in the summer and the springtime. And those fish like to be up in there in the spring to spawn, and then they like to feed in there in the summertime as well, because that vegetation gets in there and they'll get up underneath that vegetation and ambush, and you can go throw a frog in there. Anything that imitates bluegill in there is real good. 7-inch worms are good. 4-inch ringer worm works just as well. A 7-inch power worm, 4-inch big hammer ringer worm, a finesse jig, the 2K jigs. Little punk works great in there as well, in the blue crab color I like in that pit. And then the purple is laydowns and trees that are standing up, visible in the water. And there's a whole bunch, quite a few of them down through there. I forget how many, but right there in that little, in the flat right there, there's quite a bit of standing timber right there. And then the blue bank right there, that blue bank is good all year. I do good. There's a little pocket right there, and I do good in that all year round. Now the fourth picture here, the white is anything to the north of that white and that second cove to the west. That is private property. You'll see the buoys when you go in there, so you cannot go into that. So be sure to stay out of that. So do not go to the north or back to the west. I don't know if I said east or west, but do not go into that second cove to the west past those buoys. That is private property. And then the suspended trees are all the dots out in the middle. Those are actually trees that are suspended under the water. And I didn't know that until today when I went out there with LiveScope. That's why I wanted to go out there and just look around more. And there was a bunch of that. I don't know. Some of it was standing timber. Some of it was fallen timber down in there, but they are all submerged, and that is out there in the middle of the pit, just right over the middle. I did not take an Alabama rig. I did take a swim bait, and there was swim bait around, but they did not want the swim bait today. They did want, let's finish that and I'll get into that. The red is a good bank all year round. I have caught quite a bit of fish there. Now I'll get into what the fish were doing today. They were not real active today. They were kind of lethargic, but they wanted the jerk bait. I had to work it faster to get them because I watched them on the LiveScope, and I had to work it faster to get them to react to it. So once I seen them, I had to give it a pretty good jerk to actually get them to eat it. I couldn't just sit there and, barely twitch it like I would have thought with the water temp being 42, but that's where the LiveScope really helps to see how the fish react, and it'll let you know. But there's so many benefits to LiveScope that a lot of people don't talk about that helps a lot of things and kind of takes the instincts out. That's why I don't really care for it as much if you guys have watched my videos, because it just takes that instinct out that I would have never known that fish was looking at it. I would have probably never caught that fish because I would have never gave it that more aggressive jerk without that. Now, some interesting facts about this pit is I averaged 12.71 fish per fishing trip, which is usually 2 people, but like today was by myself, so I had 4. So that would have been about 8 if we had 2 people in the boat. So that's just a little bit under average for a cold day. That's pretty good being in wintertime. 30 is the most fish we've caught. That was 2 people in the boat, so 15 apiece. That's the most we've caught in one trip in there. I have caught 5 fish, or somebody in the boat with me has caught 5 fish over 3 pounds. The biggest bass caught out of there was 5 pounds, and they were actually both caught the same day. That's one of the few pits I know of that I personally have witnessed 2 fish over 5 pounds caught in the same day. And that, color-wise in there, stick to just about any of the clear to stained water stuff. Jerk baits, your shad colors, the Pro Blue in the Megabass 110 works really good. Swim baits, anything shaddish color, anything even with a little bit of chartreuse in it, a sexy shad color, will work great. Worm-wise, in there, you can throw pretty much any color you want to. You can throw blue fleck, works good in there, red shad, tequila sunrise, magic bug, June bug, black and blue, pretty much. But that, depending on if it's cleaner or dirtier, you can throw just about whatever you want in there. So the only thing I probably wouldn't recommend is watermelons. I've never done much good on watermelons in there. I've never really tried them too much. But stay away from your watermelons. I say that, but you might catch one watermelon yourself. Green pumpkin would be another good one to throw, especially if they're on beds. Big hammer salt, sugar worm, a 6-inch with a little bit of the tail dip. Same way with Zoom Magnum Finesse worm or a Green Pumpkin Cinco or a Cinco style worm, just a stick style bait, or a trick worm will work good as well. Dip that little bit of tail and chartreuse. Same way with the June bug, you can do that. Dip that tail and chartreuse as well. And that'll catch them when they're up on beds and moving out. That's a great lure to use in there. So hopefully this video helps you guys, and you guys go out to Pit 31. And I also want to add in there, for any of you crappie guys, I don't crappie fish, but I did see a lot of schools of crappie in there with the live scope. So, and they were quite a few of them. I think I've seen 3 or 4, and they probably had 25 to 50 fish in each school I see. So if you guys are looking for a crappie pit, there is crappie in there. All right, thank you.